to join me in studio this morning. Of course, Dan has WAOH television. For those of you who've seen the morning show and listened to the morning show, we've had a pleasure being part of this in our small way, but they are all over the place, really giving Akron some video coverage. And it's wonderful to see Dan's passion take part. I saw them most recently at the Bicentennial Parade when they were all over that story and so many others. And I guess, Dan, talk about the passion that you still have, and it's going with WOAH. And of course, that is an Akron passion.
Absolutely. And thank you, Akron. Akron has responded, and it is clear to all of us at WAOH Television that Akron would like to have a local television station. And what a blast we had at the Bicentennial Parade and covering that. And I wish we could be at every Akron event. And so, Akron, keep the emails coming, even though we don't quite have the resources to be at every single event as we are building. We're really in the infancy of building a television station to serve Akron. But people are responding, and they're sending us emails, and they're saying, would you please cover this? And there's so many great things happening in Akron. I wish we could be at everything, but we're going to get there. It's going to take time, but the audience is building. The best is the growth of the Roku channel. Mm-hmm. We watch on Roku, and we're not promoting it as we should be, yet Akron is still finding WAOH on Roku. And, of course, the Facebook page is growing. And so it's going to take some time. And someday, maybe even a nightly newscast would be the ultimate goal. But Akron has responded, and I'm thrilled that Akron wants local television.
And, of course, it's been almost 20 years now, maybe longer, since we had the nightly news in Akron right downtown. But you're not only offering – I'm not saying you're offering a sit-down news show, but you might in the days and not days, but in the weeks and months ahead. But what you have for right now are really stories of people making a difference in the city of Akron and also Akron highlights. And I love what you guys are doing. But this takes a whole troop to get this done, and you've got a lot of good young people with a lot of passion to do this.
The cost of having camera crews in the field is what makes television at times difficult.
Yeah.
And so we're studying this cost, and we're putting journalists with camera crews out into the field is, of course, very expensive. So the way we're doing it now is exactly what we're doing here. Carrying your show in the morning is a phenomenal partnership, and we are very grateful and we're fortunate to have a partnership with the legendary WAKR Radio and to be live from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. carrying all the news, traffic, sports, weather, and everything you do here. And what we're doing in the studio is recording talk shows podcast style so that community leaders and newsmakers and people who want to come in and share what they're doing to make Akron a better place have a platform to come into our studio, record an interview, and then within minutes, if not live, but within minutes, we can have it on WAOH television that you could watch on Roku. We're on Apple TV. And, of course, YouTube and Facebook and all of those places. But the Roku channel is what makes us different. It's where we have demonstrated that Akron could have its own local TV station. So the idea of recording interviews and that kind of content is really where we're building it. And, yes, someday, similar to what WAKC TV 23 did, unfortunately, we lost that, almost 30 years ago. 1996 they went off the air. Not that I was, I was 23. I wanted to work there.
Well, it's interesting what you got. I guess the biggest thing here to my listeners and watchers this morning is how do they find WAOH? What's the easiest way for them? Do they go to their YouTube channel and
Absolutely.
then put in WAOH
As of
TV?
this morning, the WAOH YouTube channel has 1,649 subscribers, but who's counting? We would need about 10,000 subscribers to make a nightly newscast viable. So go to YouTube now, find WAOH Television, and subscribe. And, of course, on Facebook, we have 8,000 followers on Facebook. Thank you, Akron. We would need about 50,000 to make a nightly newscast viable from a financially supported advertiser sort of standpoint, but we're going to get there. And, of course, Roku. If you have an Apple TV or a Roku, you simply search Akron Television. Or if you remember the call letters, WAOH, which of course stands for Akron, Ohio. Mm-hmm. And we picked those because there was an Akron television station, the CAT TV 29 years ago. And of course, in my high school days, I worked there and had a blast. But it's off the air, and I swiped the call letters, and I love the call letters, WAOH. nothing says Akron,
Sure.
Ohio like AOH. So that's what WAOH.TV would be a place to go online to find all of this.
Dan Mosher is with us. They do a lot of their video work at Canal Place in downtown Akron. Where did this? And gosh, I've known you for over a decade now, and you've always had a passion for creativity with the video camera. Talk about this passion with WAOH. How you jump started this whole thing.
I'm glad you
And
brought
jump
that
start
up.
is a good word to use.
There you go. Our video production operation, Jumpstart Video, supports WAOH Television along with our production company, Mosher Media. And without those video production resources right at our fingertips and in our orbit, we couldn't be doing this. So to build a TV station to serve Akron is really just an extension of what those media operations that we've had for 30 years. And it is very important to me to support high school video production programs and journalism in high school, because at good old Stowe High School 33 plus years ago is where my buddies and I were in the journalism class, and we started a television show. And of course, we had a captive audience of there's 2,000 kids in Stowe High School. And so they had TVs in every classroom, and we started a media program there. And this is where I fell in love with the idea of journalism and the idea of local television. I am so fortunate to be able to have stayed in my hometown. And I made a career in corporate video and broadcast television, producing TV commercials. And now, after 30 plus years in video production, I get to serve my hometown by building a TV station. It really is the pipe dream. And it's like somebody that always wanted to play out in a band. And now your band is doing okay, and you get to spend,
Yeah.
a lot of practice to put a band together. This is a ton of work, but it is my passion project. It started in high school, and it is so important that we keep media programs in high school, much like we keep music programs and art and all of this in the high school, and let high school students discover their passion for this great business, broadcasting and journalism and television production and all of it. Very important to let them have a platform in high school to discover their talents.
So, Dan, we certainly talked about the programming and talked about the passion and that type of thing. How about if people listening to us this morning, whether they want to find out more information, whether they might be a talent, or whether they might want to help you monetarily wise and get involved with you guys, what's the easiest way to get a hold of you folks?
Producer at WAOH.TV. And I've always said I would much rather be the executive producer, the person behind the scenes making it all. I enjoy being on camera.
You do.
I enjoy doing the promos and putting that. But there are people out there, I'm sure, that could do it much better than I could. So we would love to have some on-camera talent. And we have students, and we have community activists, and we have people that just love Akron that come on and help us produce content. But we would welcome anybody that would like to audition to be on camera or would be interested in broadcasting. And again, producer at WAOH.TV. And of course, anybody out there in communications or media, public relations, keep us on your press list. And of course, a lot of people send us notices that this event is happening over here and over there, and we can't get to everything, but we're looking at the emails, and we are getting ready to get to the point where we could do more. So keep those emails coming at producer at WAOH.TV.
So many possibilities, and it's great to have them in Akron doing what they are doing and really promoting Akron. I know Dan loves doing that. Hey, listen, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Ray.
There you go. Dan Mosher, WAOH.TV, really having an impact here in the Akron area. 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. Hey, it's traffic.